This is Jack Dennett inviting you to Maple Leaf Hockey Talks.
Every one of the coaches in the National Hockey League want to win, and I think all as bad as the other one, too. Of course, I have my problems probably more with Toe Blake and Sid Abel and with any of the other coaches. They're all rivals.
Punch Imlach, coach and general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The man whose fighting spirit, knowledge of hockey, and personal interest and concern for his players has helped to bring 3 Stanley Cups to Toronto. There are very few questions about hockey Punch can't answer, but one of the most frequent queries he gets is personal. How did he get the name?
I went down to Windsor to play a senior game, and I went into the boards with one of the old defensemen, and he gave me an elbow, and I hit the back of the ice, and I was out. So when I came to, I was started to swing, and of course it was the trainer I was swinging at. So they just said that I was punchy, and this is how the name started. And as I said, some kindly old typesetter left off the Y because he got tired of printing the extra letter, and it ended up as Punch.
Like most great coaches, he started out as a player, but a promising career in professional hockey was interrupted by World War II. As soon as peace came, Punch was back into hockey.
Tommy Ivan invited me to come down to the Detroit training camp, but I wasn't in very good shape. I was up at 180 pounds, and I was playing at about 160 before I went in the Army, so there was no chance for me to make the Red Wings, and they wanted me to go and play down in Omaha.
Omaha, no. Quebec, yes. Although he didn't know it at the time, an offer from the Quebec Aces was the first of a series of events that were to change Punch from player to coach.
They had offered me a job in Quebec City to come down there and go to work in the pulp and paper mill, and play pulp and paper mill, and play pulp and paper mill. Manager, coach, and then even an owner of the team.
By now, the big leagues had started to notice the young manager-coach with the will to win. He left Quebec for an American League post.
Then Patrick got me to go to the Boston Bruin organization to be the general manager of the Springfield Indians. Then Toronto came after me, and I decided to come to Toronto.
Punch Imlach made the journey back to the city of his birth. Little did hockey fans know that a new era was dawning for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Punch Imlach has the enviable reputation of never having coached a team that failed to make the playoffs. But he'll never come closer to breaking this record than the 1958-59 season, when the Leafs nosed out New York Rangers by 1 point for 4th place. The Leafs knocked off Boston in the first round in 7 games, but fell before the Montreal Canadiens in 5. But the die had been cast, and a new spirit permeated the Maple Leaf Club. Punch Imlach built up a powerhouse that finally bore fruit in the 1961-62 season. The Leafs put out Rangers in the first round and took Chicago in 6. The next year, the Leafs were at their peak and finished first with a 1-point margin over Chicago. The Leafs defeated Canadians in 5 games and then did the same to Detroit. This club, in my book, would rate high in the list of Maple Leaf championship teams. The next year, the Leafs again won the Stanley Cup, and Punch had equaled Hapday's previous record of 3 straight Stanley Cups. Punch Imlach is deep in the throes of the youth movement, and he no doubt will come up with a lively contender this season.
Punch Imlach has already become a legend in the NHL, and there's a possibility the name could become a tradition. Last year, when Punch had problems, his son Brent was in a position to help out.
Wally Boyer had come up with pulled groin, and our other team was on the road, Rochester, and there was no possible way that I could get anybody into Detroit. So I said, well, I know where there's one hockey player. Just because his name is Imlach doesn't mean I shouldn't take him. So I went outside and told my wife that I was going to take him to Detroit. But I said, instead of getting on the train tonight, I said, I'll go home and we'll let him sleep, and we'll wake him up in the morning so they'll at least have a good night's sleep, because it's only natural if we'd have told him he would be nervous and he would have never slept. And the funny part about it was just about as bad, because in the warm-up in Detroit, he never stopped skating. He didn't take a shot, and then he just skated around and around and around the rink until the time was to get off, and he got off.
When you listen to Punch talk about hockey, You get an insight into his appreciation and loyalty to players, such as when he talks about Johnny Bauer.
There's not too much nonsense with John. It's all work, because he covers up for every mistake by stopping the puck.
And his interest in giving young players a chance at the top team. Players like Mike Walton.
As far as we're concerned, when Mike Walton has to get a shot at the National Hockey League. After all, he was Rookie of the Year in the Central Professional League, and he moves up to the American Hockey League, and he's Rookie of the Year in the American Hockey League, and I'm just hoping that he can be the Rookie of the Year in the National Hockey League, and he certainly deserves the chance to be that.
You become aware of his firm belief in the old-fashioned virtues, such as hard work.
It's just a case of working to be a good forechecker. You got to go in there and check the other people.
Punch Imlach has lived hockey since he was a boy. His predominant trait, of course, is a burning desire to win. His players know this, and it shows in their game. Punch Imlach, leader of the Leafs, a man dedicated and devoted to the game of hockey.